It is the time of year that everyone looks forward to the most. That they just
McDonald's Monopoly?
no, McRib is back.
Oh.
But no, I was meaning Christmas.
It's true.
It are Christmas.
I know. This is the week of Christmas.
This is Christmas.
Mm-hmm.
It's Christmas week. I'm so excited for Christmas. I got all my gift wrapping done.
Mm-hmm. That's the only thing I got left to do is wrap.
Gift wrapping is the most stressful part of Christmas for me. Point blank, period. Like, yes, crowded stores are one point of view that make me very stressed out and angry with a lot of different people because people exist in their own worlds, and so do I. And we're all just the universe experiencing itself. But honestly, at Christmas time, it's supposed to be about like giving and it's supposed to be about like caring for everybody. And like if we could just give everybody a baseball bat during this time of year, we'd probably beat each other to death in the stores.
Well, I did something different this year. Like, number one, I was done like 2 weeks ago. That never happens. I'm usually that guy that's in there a couple days before Christmas trying to get his shit.
You sound like a pretty smart man.
And I actually just made everything this year.
Yeah,
Because, had the 3D printer.
that's true.
And I found different things that I thought were super cool, would be cool to print, and I thought people would enjoy. So that's what I did. And I think I like that better than buying somebody something because it's like I put thought behind this and I made this for you.
That is true, and especially having the know-how
Yeah.
to be able to program something, to be able to create something like that.
Yeah.
Like that's pretty dope. Like just in general, that's really dope.
Yep.
Because growing up as a young man, if you would have ever told me that in my bedroom there is a machine that will print anything that I tell it to as long as I know how to tell it.
Yeah, it'd be like, what are you talking about? But
I'm like,
bro?
Like, you're one of the guys that the DARE counselor warned me about, or you're one of the ones that are on drugs.
Mm-hmm. Currently.
Well, little did you know that motherfucker is about to get arrested for meth delivery and manufacturing. So, yeah, that's what's up, young me. Judgment.
Did you just accuse your younger self of being on meth?
No, the DARE officer.
Oh.
And that's not an accusation. That was guilty.
Gotcha.
Yeah, shit happens,
Yeah, it's like, dude, I barely remember the DARE program.
Yeah, well, I think most of us have failed that lion.
I mean, I remember going to the assemblies, and that was about it.
McGruff, the crime dog, only still has a job because that fucking lion didn't do his.
Well, see, they also, at the same time, would do, like, some kind of entertainment thing. Because one year for DARE, they did a DARE thing, and then there was a Yo-Yo Man. I remember the Yo-Yo Man. Because he did cool stuff.
Tiny, can I tell you something?
I'd gotten a yo-yo.
That I haven't really ever talked to anybody about.
What?
Because a lot of the times whenever I'm talking about my cop times, I talk about the times that were either like traumatic because I'm having one of those days and I need to tell somebody, or I'm having one of the days that I'm like, I've got some badass stories that you need to hear about.
Uh-huh.
Here's one that falls in a gray area that I feel would be a good little Christmas present for the
Okay.
for the children. While being a SWAT certified, mind you, a SWAT operative certified, mind you. Okay. I was also involved with the NRA.
Okay.
I don't talk about my time with the NRA. They had a mascot for gun safety.
Okay.
His name was Eddie the Eagle.
I did not realize that.
Eddie the Eagle went around to the schools and danced around to music to remind children about gun safety and to show them how scary that not knowing what a gun is or knowing that it's not a toy, how scary it can be.
Okay.
Eddie the Eagle was about approximately 7 feet tall in this costume. Humongous eagle. Probably a costume weighed probably 50 pounds. Funded by the NRA.
Yeah.
Tiny, I was Eddie the Eagle.
I kind of felt like that's where this was going.
Tiny, I was Eddie the Eagle. And
I bet it was hot in that thing.
Tiny, they wouldn't make me change shifts so I didn't have to work on the days where I was Eddie the Eagle. I came off of a suicide one day after seeing a freshly decomposed body, and then immediately had to go dress up as Eddie the Eagle and dance for the children.
That would be fucking terrible.
Nobody tells you what you might get into when you're a cop.
Yeah, that'd be terrible. But in a way, that could almost help you to, just get away from it for a minute because you're entertaining little kids.
At the same time, too, I did use that costume at inappropriate times because it was in my custody. I'm not talking like furry.
Hold on.
I'm not talking furry situation.
Hold on.
Um,
Hold on.
You know how trail cameras exist?
Okay, so different kind of inappropriate.
Absolutely. Like, I'm not supposed to use this except for when I'm doing demonstrations for the children.
Yeah.
But I have a buddy who lives up in the county above us, and he, I don't mean like heaven. He's still alive. I mean like Livingston.
You said county. Actually, this county.
Yeah. Well, technically, but not really because of zoning. It's odd. I live in an odd spot. So the thing is, he had a neighbor who had some trail cameras, and he wanted to mess with his neighbor because his neighbor was also really into cryptids.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, because I still had it in my car, and he's like, "Hey, you want to put that costume on and follow me?" I'm like, I'm not asking any questions.
Need no question.
I had no questions because I didn't care. Like because he had just got through, number one, we were talking about guns, and he was showing me, what was those, was it 5.7? Is that what's that? Is a
FN57?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He was showing
Those
me,
are cool.
and I was like, that is an AR in your hand.
Yeah, it's got a 5.7 by 20 millimeter round.
That's
It's like a very small rifle round. It's super cool.
I'm like, are you expecting a rhinoceros to hold up your car dealership? He's like, no, but it would help.
They either have in prototype form or have released one like that, but bigger calibered.
I don't mind that. I mean, but anyway. So I go, and we're going out and then we get to walk in, and he tells me what we're doing, and I was in the Eddie the Eagle costume, and I of course took off because the jersey part on it. You had to wash it because if it got dirty or anything, you weren't representing well enough, so you had to keep the jersey off of Eddie the Eagle washed.
But the rest of it could be stanky.
Oh God, dude! It smelled like the other 14 Eddie the Eagles before me.
I bet it did.
I am Eddie the
Did it
Eagle,
at least
and as the Eddie the
fans
Eagle
in the head?
as the many that have came before me. Hopefully not in this costume.
Did it at least have fans in the head of it?
No, it didn't have shit.
So it was one of them cheapies.
Yeah, well,
it's not cheap.
It was one of the. It was
Lower tier.
I mean, you got to also think this is like 2012 ish.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, it was expensive for the time, but in the costumes like that, like it only had it did have a fan, but I remember it didn't have a fan because the fan was broken. It had a fan, it had a built-in cooling fan,
Yeah.
but of course, me being who I am, I was always having to get out of the son of a bitch, and I was always every time I popped my head off. Name the movie quote that I said every time I took that head off.
I don't know.
Little warm in this rhino. Because I would be drenched,
Oh, I'm sure.
like soaked.
you're
with a capital
basically
TH.
walking around wearing a carpet.
Yeah. So yeah. And somewhere up in Overton County, there is a man who caught footage of a giant eagle man walking through his trail cam footage. And he never knew where it came from. So to this day, he's probably told his buddies, like, I don't know what it was. It might have been one of the forms of the Wendigo. But I'll tell you right now, I've never seen nothing like it, never seen nothing like it since. Don't know what happened to it. Well, it was me. I was Eddie the Eagle. I was also the trespasser. I'm sorry. Oh, shit.
You know what he probably said when he looked back at that footage?
What? Hi, everyone. I'm Austin Shazam. And you'll float too. Pfeiffer.
And I'm Tiny. Don't speak to me of the deep magic, for I was there when it was written.
And we're Nerd It Through the Grapevine, the podcast where your best friends gather weekly to talk about our favorite parts of past, present, and future nerd culture. This week, we're coming at you with something relevant and something that ties into this wonderful season.
And probably very spoilery.
We're going to go ahead and let you know there will be lots of spoilers in this episode, but what we're talking about today is something that I feel is like almost like Christmas in the way that we have traditions. We repeat things, we do things, they're part of a tradition. What we're going to be talking about today is a tradition that takes place approximately every 27 years.
Yes. We talked about waiting 27 years to talk about it,
No.
but then we
couldn't do it.
realized we would have to like not be friends at all for that amount of time.
We just had to show up, just both be just white, just hair, and like just, I tell you, I really wish we would have spoken sooner about it. Welcome to Derry. That is Welcome to Derry, of course, is the new television show that just completed its first season on HBO Max.
Yes.
It is from the works of Stephen King and the universe of It and the town of Derry, Maine.
Yes. And I will say I wanted to see what his involvement with the show was. He didn't write it or any of that, but he read the script and approved the script and obviously, gave him the rights to make the show. So he was still very involved in the actual show itself because it did have that Stephen King feel to it, that little cheesy but creepy, like gooey kind of horror mixed in with weird jokes.
Really dry, weird, isn't going to hit kind of jokes.
Yes. And most of the time, no, it's not.
It's a womp womp.
Yep. But the jokes in there do kind of help relieve the tension.
Which it builds pretty much.
It
like
builds a lot of
It's
tension.
3/4 tension.
Quickly, yeah. And the show itself is just completely just laden with little Easter eggs and alluding to other things because, it does revolve around Pennywise, who appears in more than just the It movie, believe it or not. He's very heavily tied into the Dark Tower.
Uh-huh.
And the town of Derry itself is tied heavily into the Dark Tower.
Uh-huh.
So much so that it is believed to be one of the portals that lead into where the Dark Tower is.
Is that the Macroverse?
In the Macroverse, yes. I mean, the Dark Tower is not the Macroverse, is not what it's called. But that is basically the linchpin of the Macroverse. And what we are seeing in Welcome to Derry is the fall of one of the Guardians of the Beam. We're watching the fall of Gon. He's the elephant. And so basically the tower is the central nexus of everything. Around it are the different beams. At each end of the beam is a guardian. Turtle, elephant, rat, fish, bear, horse, wolf. There's more. Here's a picture. There you go. And so Gon is one of the creative forces in the universe. So Maturin the turtle vomited out the universe. Okay.
And
He
throughout
created
the
the universe.
series, there are so many references.
Yeah,
to
even
that to even like even in the movies, in the It movies, chapter 1 and 2, there were turtle references left and right.
yes.
It is almost like a presence within the universe itself, reminding Pennywise of his existence within himself.
Yeah. Because
Like, hey, bitch, don't forget where you are.
yeah, and Maturin is a very benevolent guardian. Gon was the elephant. Gon created the earth, created our universe. And so when basically Maturin created the universe, Gon created us. Gon dropped us, Maturin caught us. Okay.
Yep.
And so what we're watching is the fall of Gon himself. Because throughout the universe you have different archetypes and different types and shadows. and a lot of characters inside of the show and other books in the Macroverse are um they represent aspects of the overarching Macroverse. Dick Halloran he is a he is that for Gon himself. He represents a couple of Gon's aspects, which would be memory above all. Or, I'm sorry, not Dick. Mike Hanlon.
Mike Hanlon.
Because in the show,
Dick Halloran is a main character.
yeah, Dick
within the
Halloran is
show.
a main character.
He is the head chef and also the man with the shine from The Shining that introduces Danny into the fact that The Shining even exists.
Exactly.
I can see you shine, strong boy.
Mm-hmm. And so the show follows one of the families, the Hanlons, which is Leroy and Willie Hanlon. Willie is Mike Hanlon's father from the movie It.
What's the wife's name?
I don't remember.
Well, no, what was her name in the show?
I don't remember. She wasn't that important to me.
You don't remember Leroy's wife's name?
No.
Do you remember Leroy's wife, though?
Yeah. I mean, that's true. You're not wrong. You are not wrong.
I don't think I think that should just be stated. Just throwing that out.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Let me scroll down.
Sorry, I didn't mean to throw you off track. It's
No,
not
you're
typically
good.
of me to acknowledge.
I mean, it is true.
It is of you to acknowledge. I'm just credit where credit is due.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, in the Stephen King universe, there are large, like almost deity level beings outside of the Guardians. Okay, one of which is Pennywise himself.
Mhm.
I actually got into discussion on Facebook the other day because I've been having to have these conversations with other people.
Yes.
That was like, well, I don't like what they changed. I said, well, what do you think they changed? Well, they took it from just terrorizing kids to being this deity that's trying to kill everything. And I'm like, but he is, though. Read The Dark Tower, read Insomnia. That's what he is. And specifically what he is, you have to understand a couple of terms in the universe. Okay, you've got Prim and Todash. Okay, Prim is where the white is. That's where the Guardians are from. That is like heaven, more or less. Todash is a realm where all the demons and all the bad stuff live. Because like in the movie Mist, when the mist comes and there's all the walking things and stuff, that was where
Like a portal to that actually.
that's
opened.
exactly what that was.
It let that into our world.
That's exactly what that was.
Yeah, it was just a bleed over. That's why nothing survived in the mist.
Exactly.
Sorry to spoil a 20-year-old movie, but
Right. Well, and Pennywise was he wasn't like the ruler of that realm, but one of the big demons of that realm, one of the big powerful ones.
of the people in that realm, he had, I'm going to try to help you here
Okay.
because I wanted to be of some kind of use.
Yeah.
He has an older brother because Pennywise is the baby.
Yep.
He's the one of chaos, the one that feeds off of fear.
Mhm.
You've got his older brother, Randall,
Mhm.
who is also the man in black
Yep.
in the Dark Tower,
Randall Flagg.
Randall Flagg. And then you've got their father, who is the ruler of all beings in that universe over there, called the Crimson King.
Yes.
Yes, son!
So
I hate not feeling like I pay attention in school.
and Pennywise's actual form is the Deadlights. Like
That's why whenever he decides that he's going to stop fucking around with you and he's just going to open up, nobody can resist that.
Yeah.
That's him exposing his true being to you, and
Yes.
you can't fight it.
Exactly.
Even Dick at one point in the show, he got
Oh, yeah.
he got deadlighted.
Yeah, Dick Halloran straight up went into his mind.
That's way on down the line
Yeah.
into shit.
It is.
But there's a lot of deep lore within this though.
Oh, so much.
So much
dude.
deep lore, but give me a little bit of perspective of what you thought getting into just episode 1, because that's what hooked
Well, episode 1 made me go, this is a thick show, and not everybody is going to be able to see that.
me. Number one,
Which is fine. You don't have to be as nerdy as I am about this shit.
well, the
Good
fact
enough without the car scene.
that was what I was going to get at. The car scene
Car
was
scene made me afraid of one of my favorite things in this world.
yeah, it was pretty damn like just the wording on it like what were they chanting in the car?
It's coming, I think, or it's something to that effect.
It's like
It's here or it's coming or
it's something.
somewhere in
And
there.
someone else wants to come with us.
Mhm.
And just then that demon baby was birthed right in front of your like your eyeballs.
Well,
Like
that-
not even like partially getting to notice what's going on, like full blown, like how grotesque can this be in this
Yeah.
eruption?
yeah. See, the whole point of that was to establish, the severity of things inside of the show.
I'd rather somebody peed on my leg.
I know, right?
Like you've established your dominance. My leg is yours now. Please don't make
Yeah.
me have to remember this.
Well, yeah, because Stephen King does
Which
a
I do.
lot of body horror.
Well, that was some damn body horror.
It absolutely was. Now, some of the CG in the show is kind of crap, but it was like it was a TV show. It wasn't a movie.
Who would have ever thought? Who would have ever thought that demon baby would have been such a fucking menace?
Yeah, I wouldn't have. Now, if you really want to get into like the meat and potatoes of the deep magic, I would say definitely check out the Dark Tower series, Insomnia, Dreamcatcher, Black House, Hearts in Atlantis. Not Dreamcatcher. Take that one out. They give you more things because like the Crimson King is like one of the main bad guys in Insomnia, and there's just so much in it. I gotta, oh man, there's so much I'm not sure where to start.
Do you all remember that movie that you watched a long time ago with Anthony Hopkins that made you cry so hard you couldn't breathe, called Hearts in Atlantis? That's a Stephen King.
Yeah.
You see that character within there that is played by Anthony Hopkins. He has a form of the shine that is so strong. They actually he used to be part of an organization
Yes.
that was trained specifically in one part of using that ability. Correct me if I'm wrong. Was he not a breaker?
He was a breaker. He was not one of the more powerful breakers.
But
Okay,
he was
so,
a breaker.
So anybody in the Macroverse or the Stephen King books, I'm just going to refer to it all as the Macroverse. I don't have to keep going through the whole spiel. Anybody in the Macroverse that has some kind of paranormal ability has the shine.
It is just like Mutant X. It's like the X gene.
Yes,
It is your body's manifestation of what that Latin power is.
exactly.
I've been waiting on it for years, dude. Waiting on it for years. All that I've really noticed is I can spit real far.
Yeah, well, I mean, I can.
I'm not even talking like world record. Like I can just spit real far.
I mean, I can tell when ladies are pregnant half the time. So fucking useless.
It's a weird tingling you get in the back of your head.
Yeah, kind of. It's just like I don't know.
How far along are you, ma'am? Huh?
Well, I couldn't tell you that. And I know not to say anything because I did that a few times as a kid, and several ladies didn't know, and they're like, "How did your son?" It's this thing. Anyway, so anybody that has an extra ability outside of normal, just no matter what it is, has the shine.
And dogs know where you point.
Yes, I am not hearing a dog's know when I point. So the show follows Dick Halloran, who is a shine user. He is the second or third, because it's kind of debatable, most powerful one.
Yes, because they do build the parameters off of power based off of feats accomplished with said power. Just like Roland isn't necessarily the most powerful being, but circumstantially, the feats that he has accomplished has made him god tier.
Yeah, and he has no shine unless it is debated whether or not his shine is just the ability to do what he does very well.
Well, it's almost like a mythical bloodline crit.
Well, it is because there's so much to just him, and this ties into. So the thing about Roland is he is from the line of Eld, which is
By the way,
Arthur Eld.
Roland is the gunslinger from the Dark Tower. He's
Yes.
he's the one that Idris Elba played.
Yes, we don't talk about that.
It's a completely different. But imagine if Tiny's going
That's
to
a
tell you.
Todash nightmare. It doesn't exist.
Tiny's going to tell you what Roland's like IRL as opposed to what the movie depiction was. Because
Yes.
if Idris got a chance to play IRL version, it would have still been badass to me based off of Tiny's description. I'm a sponge. He's the faucet. I can hold so much. Here you go.
So Roland he's descended from Arthur Eld, which is King Arthur. He has the guns of his father, who was the last Lord of Light, which basically they lived in Gilead and Inworld, which basically ruled everything else. As a gunslinger, You're basically police officer, judge, and jury all rolled into one. You go through all this training to make it, you have to be like very honorable, go through all this stuff. Roland's the last one in existence. Because of his bloodline, and the guns are passed from father to son because bloodline does a lot to make you a gunslinger. It's not everything, but it helps. Okay, so when he inherited his father's guns, his guns were from Arthur Eld. His guns were made from the melted down steel of Excalibur, with the grips made from wood from a different planet, or not a different planet, a different place outside of this world.
Yeah.
So you got basically Valyrian steel, wood from another universe, and that's what he's using in his day-to-day to fight evil. So it's almost like his guns were dipped in holy water and blessed by a priest.
Do you think that Roland would have what kind of an accent would he have? He doesn't. Would he sound like he's from the
he's
West?
described as a very stoic man. Of basically, you wouldn't think much about him if you saw him. I imagine him as having a very slight kind of cowboy accent, not super like, "Hey, lay there, pretty lady, you want to go rope some cows?" But just a little bit of that, almost like a Montana style accent.
I just want to let y'all know real quick. I'm going to give you an insight as to what it's like to be friends with your podcast co-host here. I can't talk about things to him, and we've been having to hold so much in. So the first thing he texts me whenever he's realizing he's going to actually be into this show enough to watch it and take down some notes, and he's like, "There's some lore." He sends me this text message, and I don't know how to fucking respond to it because I mean, what am I supposed to know? He says,
"I do not aim with my hand. He who aims with his hand has forgotten the face of his father. I aim with the eye. I do not shoot with my hand. He who shoots with his hand has forgotten the face of his father. I shoot with my mind. I do not kill with my gun. He who kills with his gun has forgotten the face of his father. I kill with my heart."
and I'm just like, "Yeah, brother."
Yeah, well, I mean, that's the gunslinger's creed.
That's so dope.
And so
That's like it's like the Lantern's Oath,
Yeah,
but
pretty
about
much.
mythic tier guns.
Yeah, and well, since you brought that up, what it means is that skill without intention is meaningless. Violence without moral grounding is corruption. And a gunslinger's true weapon is his mind, his eye, and his will, not the gun. Killing is not the goal. Purpose and responsibility are the goal. And forgetting of the face of your father means losing honor, memory, and self. So that's what all of that means. And so it's a very powerful statement that basically forms everything about the man Roland.
Unless you
Well,
watch the movie
Yes.
and then he quits.
Yeah, fuck that. But also, Roland himself represents an archetype or a shadow in this world of a fallen guardian because he's so rigid and so by the code that he almost doesn't know how to human. And so throughout the journey of the story himself, you see so much character development that he becomes a metaphor of his healing, becomes a metaphor for healing everything else. And so very powerful character, very powerful story, and definitely worth a watch.
It'd be like
Not
if
a
we got
watch,
the
a read through
backstory.
or audiobook wise.
It would be like if we got the backstory to the Paladin off of the D&D movie.
Yeah, pretty much.
If we got his backstory, just like he's going to start walking in a direction, but there's this boulder that I have to just walk right over. Okay,
Yeah.
it's just that kind of.
Yeah, but he starts off one of the very first lines in the Gunslinger, the book, which is the book one, is the man in black fled across the desert and the gunslinger followed. That was literally his whole goal in the first book, was to catch the man in black.
Which is Randall Flagg,
Yes,
which is Pennywise's older brother.
yes.
See,
Well,
within the show,
brother is very loosely termed.
they are both of the same creator, and one was
Yes.
created before the other one. It's one of those
Yes.
kind of brethren thing, not like bro. It's more or
Yeah.
less like, eh.
Yeah.
And Pennywise shifts based off of what he's needing to shift, whereas Randall more or less sticks with forms until he Doctor Who's.
Yeah, pretty much. And he can Doctor Who at will, but he can also change. He can also rotate between the forms. It's a lot because in the series he's in one book 3 times as 3 different people, and you don't find that out till way the fuck later.
I was wondering if he was going to actually be a character within it. Welcome to Derry, and we just don't know it.
It's very possible.
Like, there's just it would make sense because you wouldn't know.
Yeah, because he doesn't.
He's not Pennywise.
Right.
He manipulates emotions in a different way to where he gets that fuel a different way.
Right.
He's not an all-consuming like garbage disposal.
Well, see, Randall Flagg basically he foments chaos. So
He's the devil that like attracts more flies with honey.
yeah,
He's the
he likes
manipulator.
to stir the shit because he likes the smell, whereas Pennywise feeds on the smell. Okay.
Yeah, I get it.
Yeah.
I now within the show,
And he doesn't have such cosmic level powers like Pennywise does. He's more like the tempter, the slick talker,
yeah,
he's the voice in your ear.
yeah, he's the master manipulator.
Yes.
So within the show,
Mhm.
how many did you you said you took some notes over the
I didn't take notes over the show. I remember the show.
Okay, in the what keys you off into the first noticing of like some deep magic being mentioned?
It was very early in the show. Basically when they said when you see Leroy Hanlon,
Yeah,
because I saw Hanlon, I was like, wait.
yeah, automatically.
Yeah,
Just
I was like, okay, so
a pillar name within the universe.
yeah, Mike Hanlon.
One of the strongest Shine users ever, right?
No, he was the lighthouse in it.
Oh, that's what I meant. Yeah.
So he did have some form of the shine because he basically had a photographic memory.
Yes.
And he was resistant to. Okay, let me back up. The very first thing that made me key into this show is going to have a lot of deep lore is when in the car scene they drive out of Derry and then back into Derry because Derry has a pull. Derry pulls you in.
Yes.
And I went, okay, I appreciate that.
Yeah.
Hey, tell that motherfucker I appreciate it. Yeah. And then Hanlon and then other things,
You want to know the thing that Tiny cued me in on that let me know that he was really appreciating the deep cuts? Tiny let me know that at one point there is a just real wet fart that happens.
Yes.
And nobody extra acknowledges it. It just kind of goes on about, like everybody goes about their business, but there's a slight, like one of those faces like, what? And then they carry on.
Yeah.
But
it happened in a bathroom.
But Tiny, tell them about why that fart was.
Even the fart is significant.
He voice messaged me. He said, even the fart in this show is significant to the deep lore within Stephen King.
Yeah, because Stephen King was one of the very first people to actually mention a fart in a book.
That flatulence and normal bodily activity
Yeah.
still exist in this world.
Yeah.
Just because you're in this
first time
fantasy
you read
world,
it, you're like, what?
just because you're in a fantasy world, don't mean you don't got to take a shit.
Exactly.
That's-
and it's not something often mentioned. Like he straight up mentions taking a shit in one of the books,
See,
in one of the Dark Tower books. But that's not as big of a deal as just like, yeah, so he farted, and like everybody was just like, and they moved on. It is, yeah.
so since you've watched the show in its entirety, throughout your watching of this show, at what point did it ever start losing a little bit of steam for you and feel like a slog?
Okay. I'm not going to say that the show ever felt like a slog, but there was a time or two I thought, why did you make this choice?
Yes. What were those instances? I'm curious to know.
Well, some of them were very King-esque, like the just idiotic military. Just Francis.
Like using military intelligence as a what is that, where you're saying
Like a MacGuffin?
no, it's a thing that
Oh, Chekhov's gun?
no, like it's like two words that don't go together that are like meaning the opposite kind of thing. I forget what that's called. It's hard to describe.
Juxtaposition.
I'm drawing juxtaposition, maybe military intelligence. Ha ha. Yeah, right.
Oxymoron.
Oxymoron. Because that literally.
I was thinking literary term.
Yeah, no,
I
that's
mean,
what that's
technically it's a literary.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking though, like the oxymoron, like using military intelligence as an oxymoron because it's like, why the fuck?
I mean, he does do that in several books, but the character of Francis, like he even started off as a kid just annoying the shit out of me, because when he met the little native girl,
First thing she tells him,
yeah, they're out playing. He starts to run in the woods, and she's like, no, don't, like panicky, and he's and he keeps running, and I'm like, first of all, who runs in the woods? You're gonna die. Second of all, she said don't, and sounded scared. Third of all, you ran like a fruitcake.
he was kind of flopping around, and they told him that too in the show.
Yeah,
They told him that. They told him that he did.
yep. And then he almost dies because
Of just
because
not listening.
It was in the woods because he was too stupid to listen.
Because Pennywise was bound within the confines of those woods. Those woods later became the town of Derry.
Yes.
And Derry, Maine is a center point of so much stuff that goes on
Yep.
because of the deity, the entity, it, and the power that it possesses within the bounds of Derry because it is bound to it.
Yeah.
You know what the military, since we're doing a comprehensive and we're going to bounce back and forth and we're not splicing, let's talk about this. The military's big idea in this show, and the big, and as we said, this is spoilers.
Yeah.
The military's idea in this show is, I know this creature of fear exists within these woods. And
What if we free it?
Like, you know what we could do? We could let it loose. And then once we let it loose, we could get all the things that confine it, make our own cage, and then we'll be able to
Use it like a weapon.
We'll drop it on. It'll destroy entire countries if we need it to, without any risk of contamination or radiation.
And I'm like, this is only going to go bad.
Yeah, this is only bad.
This is
Now,
only going to go bad.
I will say, I both loved and hated the idea of the pillars and things. Okay.
Yes.
Now, it felt a little Sith dagger. Okay.
Yeah.
But if you look at the shape of all the points around it and the central point, it's the same as the tower and the Guardians. So I both loved and hated that was a thing.
They were looking out for you, but also being like, okay, you're going to let us get away with this because watch.
Yeah.
Look at this shit light up.
Yeah. So it was a little
Oh.
cheesy. Yes, that it was cheesy, but when you put it in the from the scope of the macroverse,
It fits.
it makes sense and it fits.
Now, the
Because
thing that-
everything is a type and shadow of something else.
The thing that I love within the show is all of the just casual references to other King works.
Yep.
Like they're going to go to Shawshank Prison.
Yep.
Like, and also within the Shawshank Redemption itself, there's a scene with Andy Dufresne where he's telling Red, like, hey, whenever you get out, and I know you're going to, go to this spot in this field. You'll find a piece of black what appears to be black volcanic glass that doesn't have any business being in this field. That's the same type of material that the Dark Tower is made out of.
Yeah.
And it has no other explanation for that being for people being in possession of that.
Mhm.
And people all over the Stephen King universe apparently just have that shit. So, because they had all of the ones they're using as the pillars are pieces of what Pennywise's ship or what his container was he landed in.
Yeah. He was basically inside of like a meteor style thing.
Yeah.
And it broke, and that's what they used to make the pillars.
But that doesn't mean that that's the only pieces of his ship that exist. They just strategically placed him in a way in order to contain him.
Well, it wasn't even really his ship. It was more sheer happenstance that he happened to be in the thing, and the thing happened to.
So how
land
did he
here.
end up even crossing over into our universe from his universe in the first place?
Well, what he does is he actively tries to tear holes into other universes because he's always around thin spots.
Yes.
So that's part of what fuels him. That's why he just wants to just destroy everything, because if I destroy here and wear enough of a thin spot, I can go there and do the same thing there. It's kind of like going, do I want Burger King or McDonald's or Chinese food?
Yeah.
Except
what's the last
on a
one I had?
cosmic level.
What's the last one I had? Okay, check that off the list. I don't want it no more right now.
Right.
Yeah, I get that. I get that on a cosmic level where you're consuming the entirety of everything. So the Pennywise Skarsgård needs some acolytes.
Yeah, he's great.
Like
He does. He
accolades,
does
excuse
the
me, accolades for this. Like
so good.
like no, like
I will
think-
say, I wish there'd have been more practical effect Pennywise in the show as opposed to it always being CG. Because in the movie, it was more practical effects.
yes. At the same time, too, though, the amount of times that he was in there just himself without the CGI, bravo.
Oh yeah, he did great in both of the
Like
roles.
just the practical and the way that it was done, it was that was well enough for what I got of it, because I can understand the need for the other stuff.
yeah.
And also there's
I
this
could too.
there's this thing about, like, why can Pennywise not just walk? Why does he always got to manipulate his legs in this weird
Because
way?
he's not a person and never was a person.
He doesn't know how to walk like a person. He's a goddamn
I
spider.
mean, yeah, he's not even a he. He's not even
It.
really a spider.
It-
It is the deadlights.
yeah.
You know.
Like,
So all the forms it takes is just forms that it adopts to either conceal itself until it's ready to be revealed,
Mhm.
or something that will, just terrify you,
And
or something to draw you in.
one of the things that I liked about this show is it is continuing on to a point that was never fully addressed, and that's the way that Pennywise experiences time.
Yeah.
Because we think of time in a linear fashion. Oh, this happened in 1908. Oh, this happened in 1947. There's all these things that we take into consideration because it comes back every 27 years. We think, okay, event moving forward. That's not how he sees it.
No.
That's not how Pennywise perceives things.
Well, he's also perceiving this time, the last time, and the next time,
Yes.
because he talked to Margaret about her son, and he's like, oh, he's not even born yet. And that's when he kind of goes into his little thing about time itself being irrelevant.
It's all the same to old Pennywise.
Mm-hmm.
It's such a good job, too.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so give me some of your favorite moments throughout the show. What were some shining moments for you throughout the show?
Okay, I did really enjoy seeing, it sounds kind of bad, there's a few moments, and it's more characters that made it feel like a Stephen King, okay? Like one was the older lady that was Lily Bainbridge's friend.
Okay.
Because at first she just seemed like this sweet lady, but the whole time I'm like, there's something there. There's
Sums
something
up.
with this lady.
Sums up with you. What is
Because
it?
why is she so, close to this troubled kid? Because the kid is troubled. Like, she's been to Juniper Hill, which in the Macroverse, well, not really the Macroverse, was the mental institution that people would go to, and Juniper Hill was not a cool place to be.
They weren't very nice to people in there. There were a
No.
lot of forced lobotomies.
Yes. And so this, what would you say, 11 to 13-year-old girl had been there
Yes.
because of events in her past. It was very traumatic for her.
Yeah, because her father died at a factory and they found pieces of his bones in the machine from where it ground
Yeah.
him up so much.
Yep.
And then a rumor spread around town that the food they were processing in the town it was a pickle factory, I think, and the contents of the pickles ended up having pieces of his body parts in it. But that was just a rumor
Yeah.
until Pennywise came along and turned that shit into a reality for her in the center of a
Absolutely.
grocery store. Like, I don't think the movies did a good enough job of showing how intentional he is with basting you in fear before he
It
eats
didn't.
you.
And this show definitely did.
He is a fucking punk.
Yeah,
He's a
because
punk.
because he starts off subtle before he gets big, and he'll do it in front of God and everybody. He don't care, because the thing about him is he knows, and the reason he targets children is he knows adults most of the time will ignore weird things or explain it away as like, it was just the light being kind of weird reflecting off the tree and making that shadow on my wall.
And Pennywise also has such an overwhelming cloud of control over what people do and do not do within that small
Yeah.
space of Derry. Like, they can see somebody getting their asses kicked in the middle of the street by a group of mugger children, and they're gonna just be like, "Oh, kids will be kids."
Well, and the time that he's active there, his presence radiates out to where the odd things that are happening don't seem that odd to the people that are there. Just like the example of that example, they're just like, nah, it's fine, because their mind is almost like in a
like
it's in a
tranquil-
fog.
like they're tranquilized.
Yes, exactly. So they're not feeling what they should be feeling in this situation.
Question real quick. I ran upon something that I needed your assistance on, and I'm glad we're on
Okay.
recorded media so we can take care of this.
Mhm.
Say
Yeah, you should get that mole checked out.
no, I really actually do need to get a mole checked out on my back. It is
Mm-hmm.
that time. But no, there is a scenario that I'm really wanting to accomplish, but I'm wondering if within the lore there is a way.
Okay.
Is there any way of summoning / contacting a gunslinger?
Ish.
Okay, now you lay this out for me, because I ran upon a TikTok and I needed your help, but I'm not going to tag you. So I save it for the important stuff. So the TikTok scenario was the last television show you want. The last television show you watched is the universe you're pulled into. What do you do?
Mm-hmm.
I just got through fucking watching the last episode of It Welcome to Derry.
Yeah.
So they asked me this question, and I said, I don't know how, but I would some way summon Roland, because I'm not fighting that cosmic entity by myself.
Yeah, exactly.
And that's the best that I could do. I just needed to know from you if there was a scenario to where I'm pulled in.
You would have to find the right person with the right type of shine,
Okay.
or hope that you have that yourself.
Well, that is
But also,
just being
but hold
aware.
on, but also, Ka is a wheel, and Ka always rolls itself around, so it might just pull you to the right spot. Which in the Macroverse, Ka is akin to destiny. It's not destiny, but it's akin to it.
Because in my head, in my depiction of like Roland, there is a song by a band called Avenged Sevenfold that is actually called Gunslinger, and it kind of gives me that vibe of what like Roland feels when you describe him to me. And if you've never heard this song before, I'll play it for you later, and that can be your new theme song for him in your head.
Okay.
But in my head canon, like if I'm sucked
Well, I
in,
do know that there is a band out there that did do a song about Roland. I just don't remember what it is or what it's called.
but
I've been looking for the past few days.
But in my head canon, I feel like my version of the shine that I have would be the fact that I'm in this universe and I'm aware of part of it.
Yeah.
Like what I have is something that like hardly anybody else in this scenario is going to have, and that's awareness of what is actually taking place. And that's only to a finite point. I'm not you.
Yeah.
If you were pulled in there, you'd be like, "Oh shit." Number one, I'm walking out of this town. Then I'm going to regroup. I'll regroup. I'll come back later. You know.
Yeah.
But for that just like put my brain in like a little bit of a headlock. Like I know that I can't do anything to this creature. I know that I can't. This entity is going to find stuff from way back, and it's going to torture me with it. I got torturables. It's going to find it real quick. I reek of torturables back there.
Yeah.
So it's going to find it real fast. But you know what? Something that has that feeds off of fear might actually have a little bit of fear himself. If I bring what killed its daddy.
And him.
And
Well, actually, his son.
well, one of
Well,
his
that's
one in variation.
It wasn't for him.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I just saying,
Not even intentionally, just like
because if he lives,
almost like, fuck this guy. He's in the way of my goal.
because in my head, I'm thinking if you experience all time as one time, and I bring this in a place it's not supposed to be because I'm where I'm not supposed to be, I'm gonna throw you off. Because this isn't supposed to happen right yet. But guess what? Here they are. Here you are. Slappy monkey. That's what. No, not like that. But like the
the
symbols.
symbols, yeah.
Yeah. Like the masquerade.
Yeah, like on the cover of Night Shift. Or sorry, no, Nightmares and Dreamscapes.
So yeah.
That's a Stephen King book.
Now things that were highlight points in the show for me that I was really glad that I got to see.
Okay.
I got to see people flexing the shine.
Yep.
I got to see aspects of the shine explained to me and why they were done.
Yep.
Because in the movie The Shining, which is I'm a movie guy. I'm not the book guy. You're the book guy.
Right.
Dick explains to Danny about if anything like that is trying to contact you or talk to you or anything, just shove it deep down in the box.
Yep.
The box is actually a trained form of the shine.
Mm-hmm.
but it's one of those, if you visualize it, it can manifest within the shine within your own mind.
Correct.
Just like in Dreamcatcher, whenever they had the library that I believe was
Jonesy.
in Jonesy's head, and that's how I've got my brain constructed for files and things I got to remember.
Yeah.
So it's not all the time organized, but it's there, and that's why.
Mm-hmm.
So getting to see like that further expanded upon, as well as like all the different aspects of just seeing how long it's been going on, and it's been going on for as long as time.
Yeah.
It's just that this one specific group of indigenous people here happened to be a tribe that were
We're trying to actively protect the pillars.
Yes, because they were of the spiritual being that was the other side of the pillar from.
Yeah.
There was the turtle, which is Maturin, and there's the opposite side, which is the bear, Shardik.
Shardik. Shardik.
Yeah.
And within some of the flashbacks, you get to see like the old tribal leader who established the pillars wearing a bear, which was indicative of like following Shardik.
And how about that lady warrior that was of the tribe that died, but her spirit entity became an avatar for Shardik?
Yep. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
Because then, and I'm so glad. This is why I don't like talking about things without being just spoiler latent. Like just the fact that number one, we got to see like Richie. Richie was my boy, dude.
Oh yeah,
Richie was.
I liked Richie.
Richie was the.
Richie, I both loved and hated him at different points.
He had obnoxiousnesses to him, but he's a kid.
Yeah, exactly.
But at the end of the day, he just wanted to be somebody's knight.
Yeah.
Like I'm just sitting here watching this man, and you know what? This boy
he was also like the shortest kid of all time.
Did you know that scene in the fire on that case was improv?
Which scene?
The scene on the case in the fire while Richie's talking to Marge.
Oh, I did not know that.
That was improv, off the cuff.
Well, dang.
That boy's going somewhere.
Yeah, he was a good little actor. Honestly, my absolute favorite Richie moment that just summed up Richie as a person. Yep, right when he's running by Pennywise.
Pennywise.
Like,
Okay,
yeah.
And that was a couple of my favorite moments in the show that got me in a double hit. Like it hit me with this left
I
jab.
got a little teary right there.
Like it hit me with a left jab real quick because I got hit with what's going on, Bob? You've been sleeping for a little while. Did you get too much to drink? What are you talking about? What is this?
Yeah.
What is this? Bobby, we found you out in the ditch. You must have had too much to drink out there. I am not Bob Gray.
Well, hold on. You have to realize how strong Dick Halloran was in that moment.
They roided
Because-
him up on Root of Maturin.
Yeah.
Straight up entity
he-
straight like deity fueled
Yeah.
shine.
He
Like that is some next form Super Saiyan Dragon
Yeah.
Ball Z shit, and they put it into Stephen King. Okay,
Yeah, he managed to grab this cosmic deity, pull it inside of its own mind, and hold it there for a while.
because he was about to consume
Just the
Marge.
fact that he could do it at all is impressive, much less for the length of time that he did.
Like Marge was about to be consumed by Pennywise, but after Pennywise spilled the beans to her, that you know what? I could probably just take care of you right now, and I don't got to worry about your kid killing me in the future.
Yep.
Beep beep, Margie.
Oh yeah.
And I'm like, oh, good. And he opens up the mouth. Here comes she's going to it's going to happen. And then he pauses. He's frozen. He looks, I'm like, what is going on? I'm looking around everywhere on
And
screen.
His eyes look scared.
Yeah, like they're vibrating, like somebody that's afraid.
Yeah.
But what I'm looking around for at that point is I'm like, he's frozen. He's afraid. What is he afraid of? Where's the dagger? I'm looking around. I can't see the
Yeah,
dagger glowing.
same.
I'm like, where's the fucking dagger? That's the MacGuffin. The dagger. Okay, guess
Which is
what?
not even really a dagger. It's just a shard of obsidian.
Guess what?
But
Dick is in the background just pulling him into his own little pocket dimension to where he is actually Bob Gray, the original Pennywise character that was in the traveling carnival that he consumed and stole his likeness so he could attract the children and eat them.
yes.
So He saw the way Bob Gray attracted the kids. He saw the way that the Pennywise character brought the children to him. He adopted the Pennywise character in order to attract children to him, like fucking like lambs to a slaughter.
Yep. And in order to actually kill and consume Bob, he appeared to him as a black-eyed child,
Yes.
which is its own bit of lore.
So, and then did you like that when you saw that?
Oh yeah.
You were like, okay, I know what this is.
Yep.
So seeing the way that goes down, though, but then in this instance, Pennywise is then pissed off at this guy for like talking smack to him.
Yeah.
He's like,
Well, he for a second thought he was Bob Gray.
well, no, because what you're getting into here is just like he's talking to him like he's Bob, and he's confused, but like, who are you speaking to?
Yeah.
Like not knowing he's even talking to him, and he's like, "Oh, you must hit your head pretty hard out there, Bob." And then Pennywise retort it with, "I am not Bob Gray. I am a god. I am a destroyer of worlds," and then gets the living shit smacked out of him
Yeah.
with the pimp slap of the year
Mm-hmm.
to feel pain,
Yep.
to feel fear, all within this from what Dick has done to him. He's experiencing what he puts others through. That is the strongest time that I've got to see somebody flex a shine.
Yeah. Well, not only that, just right before all that happened, Bob, the inverse happened to Bob. You know,
Yeah,
Because-
because in the episode before, whenever they destroyed,
when the military did
yes,
really stupid things,
yes,
like trying to go into the sewer. Let me talk about this one just most idiotic, stupid thing in it. Okay, and it was a character action.
good.
So they get this native guy who has the dagger. He's the guide to one of the pillars
Correct.
because that's where they're going to start. The guy's name is Daniel. He finds
No.
Hmm?
Daniel.
Taniel. Okay. I did not realize it was Taniel. I heard it as Daniel.
That's why I watch with
Okay.
subtitles.
Anyway, so Taniel finds a spot and makes a break for it. And hold on, let me back up one more time. Before they go in there, they say if you see something that's not supposed to be there, shoot it. Okay. So you're going to use a gun to try to kill something that's got powers you can't explain. Okay, that's stupid.
Very ham-fisted of them.
Yep, and then it comes that you already know that it has a cycle. Okay, so now you have Taniel. He knows how to use this dagger. He knows where this pillar is. He's going to take you to it. He finds his moment to break free. The guy in charge immediately starts shooting and yelling, "Hey, no, stop, come back." If you kill him, how's he going to help you?
There was no thought.
Why would he come back?
They were treating
You're
him,
shooting at him.
they were treating him as a volatile hostage.
Yeah,
Not so
which
much.
I mean, it's kind of what he was, except he wasn't. He was a nice guy. He didn't want to be there because he is one of them that his whole goal is to protect the pillars, to contain it. He doesn't want it here, but he knows it coming is almost like the weather. It's inevitable, and it follows a pattern because his family and those associated with his family, they are a member of a group that monitors and watches all these things.
Yes.
And so they keep track of, based on what's happening, how it's going to be. So usually X amount of kids disappear. This year was a light year. And then they're waiting on what they call the Ari, which is some big catastrophic event.
That is the culmination at the very end.
Yes, exactly. So instead of just the little snacks along the way, it's the big meal, and then he goes away for 27 years.
The thing that got me the most about the show was just the depth of insanity that the woman that was friends with Lily had.
Yes.
Periwinkle.
Yes,
That was what you're getting at.
that was what I was trying to get
with
at.
the adverse of when,
Yes.
when Pennywise had to be Bob Grade, it was in a different
Yes.
way.
Well, it wasn't that earlier. Okay, so Stephen King has archetypes. Hers is that seems nice but knows more than she should, but misinterprets it, kind. You know, because she's under the impression that it is her father. And so she's trying to help create these situations that'll bring him up. And Pennywise uses this. He knows what she thinks, but he knows that if I manipulate her, she helps me feed.
And she put in the tip call to cause the chaos that
She
happened
did.
at the club.
She caused the fire at the club.
Yep. She is the one who put that all into motion because she knew that she would summon him. But the thing is, she is so convinced, even first off, the first time she sees the spirit reincarnation style of her father that Pennywise used, she saw her father, but also a river of blood.
Yeah.
That's not a question mark at all in my head. No, not at all. I get
not
to see
at
my
all.
dad again, but also everybody has to die. Okay.
Yeah.
So continuing forward.
Well, she had that mental break because she was indicative of what Lily could become if she had the wrong kind of guidance, I guess.
Yeah.
So she's the bad example for Lily.
She's the perfect example of what not to do.
Yes.
So seeing her literally talking to Pennywise like Pennywise is her dad, but then Pennywise playing along into it even more and being like,
Until she pissed him off.
because she pissed him off with love and grabbing his arm,
Well-
telling him what to do.
Yeah, it wasn't like the affection because he used that as the manipulation. And it was well, I'm going to try to control you. And he's like, yet again, like he says in the wagon, I'm a god. Who are you?
Yeah.
And then he eats her.
Yeah, but the thing is, he's literally chewing a man's head, looks at her and says, sorry, do I have, no, I don't think he says I have some face on my face to her, does he?
I think that's what he said.
And then that doesn't cue you into this isn't your father yet?
Yeah, it's like, when did your dad just eat people?
So there's multiple points where like, you dumb, stupid word I don't like. Like it's aggravating with it. But
Hunt?
yeah, it's there. But she got deadlighted.
Oh, yeah.
It's all good.
Oh, yeah.
You know, it's all good. There was
She
justice
did.
served. Now, then you carry on forward to it being forced into the persona of Bob Gray in his own mind, seeing that flex. Another point of where the military just sucks everybody's asshole entirely. He would have had Pennywise controlled until the kids got to the pillar where it needed to go.
Well, hold on. The whole reason that scene happened was the military's fault to begin with.
They just showed up and started shooting.
Well, no. Hold on. Back up. Because we got to remember the fire happened. That was the big event. He went back to sleep.
Oh my God, he would have still been asleep had they not taken that
He would have
pillar
been
and
done
set
until the events of the movie.
They melted it down.
Yeah, they disturbed his rest by melting the pillar because now his territory has grown because of that.
Yeah.
And so he awakened, and basically that containment also contained his cycle. And so by breaking that, it reactivated him because he's sitting there just basically basking in his spoils in his little
blood
I
pile.
don't know, his little blood puddle goon cave, whatever.
That's exactly what it was.
Yeah. And now he's been reinvigorized and he's hungry, you know, and the military guy, he looks at him and says the stupidest thing a person could possibly fucking say. And it's the same boy that it keeps flashing back to with the Native American lady, Rose. Can you hit the thing for Rose? Thank you. Not the kid, adult version.
I understood what you meant.
And for an older lady, anyway, apparently I got a thing for Native girls. Who knew? But he's okay. So, and when you leave Derry, you forget. So he's come back. He remembers blah blah blah. So he remembers what it did to him as a kid, and he looks at it and he goes, "Go now, you're free."
Like you can give this motherfucker permission.
Yeah, like gives him permission. He's like, "You're free." Yeah, you scared me, and you know, it kind of looks at him.
He's like,
Does this
why?
like dog head tilt? Raises a hand up, swipes it down, and makes the face that he used to terrify Francis with. Fuck you, Francis.
But he doesn't.
And he's like, I remember you.
He doesn't do that automatically. He does start to walk away.
Yeah.
But then he gets a sniff, and he says, "I never forget a smell."
Never forget a smell.
And then he
Always
turns
wanna
around and
know
does the
how you
face.
taste.
Then he does.
Yeah.
Does the face. Then as soon as that happens, he says, What are you doing? What do you think you're up? Like
Yep.
that's all you get. The military man got to look angry at the entity, and then the
Yeah.
entity ate his head.
Yeah, and I paused it. I stood up and I'm like, fuck yeah.
Because it's one of those like, are you going to run into the safe room? Or are you gonna run outside to safety or run into the dark room? Well, that he's been running headlong into the dark hallway this whole time.
He basically walked up to a tornado and tried to hug it.
Yeah, basically,
Yeah,
I'm going to show you kindness, and you're going to do what I want.
yeah.
Like, what kind of harebrained destroy the world in the process?
What kind of
man?
idiot.
This is stupid. That's the dumbest thing I've ever heard.
And because of that, all the kids got abducted from the town.
There is one slight bitch because we don't have much time left. We could continue to talk about this, and we might. But one small bitch, Lily's friend that she had to introduce everybody to at the tower that had been previously missing.
Yeah, Maddie.
And it just so happens that Maddie won't go home.
Mm-hmm.
Maddie was sketch off the get.
Oh yeah.
Also,
absolutely.
Maddie is literally gray, honey.
Yeah.
This boy is gray.
Yeah.
This isn't a human. How don't you know this? And I was almost halfway convinced for half a second. Okay, maybe
I was too.
maybe he's sewer traumatized.
Yeah.
Because I can get,
Maybe he's sewer dirty.
maybe it's something I don't quite get, but I can cope
Well, you
with it.
definitely wouldn't get it because, like, of all the descriptors that he said. So it could make sense a little why he's kind of pale and dirty and probably smells ungodly.
But then the second that
But-
that little boy convinces them that they just have to go to the sewer.
Well, no, he didn't though.
Well, he convinced Lily
he-
that such and such might still
he
be
said-
alive and let her form the
Yes.
opinion herself.
Yes,
That was a
he
complete-
manipulated.
That was a dude. I think that the show was very good. It to me, I'm gonna give it probably a 7.5 out of 10 stars.
Okay.
Possibly a strong 8.2. If I could just watch it over again and not be so grotesqued out by the two different instances of birthing horror.
Yeah, the first one was worse.
First one was worse. The second one was more traumatizing with the words.
Yes,
So,
you're talking about Ronnie, right?
yeah. Oof. Gross.
Yeah.
What do you think, big dog?
8.75.
Show guy got to outrank by the book guy.
Yeah.
So just throwing that out there for the legitimacy of what you're watching. Book guy now gets to know that there's a continuation of the series.
I don't know how they're gonna do that unless they go back.
They are.
Okay, so they're going back one more. Okay.
They're going back 2 more.
Okay.
The next series is covering 1940s when the massacre occurred.
Okay. Well, no, that's just back one more.
Well, I mean, from I'm talking about from original.
You know, I was talking about from the show.
From the show, it's going
Yeah,
back
from
one
the from the movie, it's
going-
going back two.
Yeah, but it's going back one generation from the show,
Yeah.
and then the next season's going one generation back from that,
Okay.
covering the foundation,
Okay.
and then that.
That could be cool.
Then the events of that, whatever's going on in that, because we were just now introduced in the very last episode that Pennywise does not experience time in a linear fashion.
Correct.
I think that Pennywise is trying to alter the events of It Chapter 2. I think it is realizing it can actually affect the outcomes by changing
I mean,
what
it's
the past
possible.
can be. I think this is all going to be a buildup of trying to change the outcome, because at the culmination of it all, there is It Chapter 3
Okay.
coming out in 2027.
Okay, so here's one last thing, I guess, before we sign off. I can kind of see that because honestly, Roland's world is in the state that it's in because of its influence over it. Because his world is our world, but after the fall of everything, because you see, references to like ZZ Top, references to products we have.
Yeah.
But it's all run down, doesn't work. Nobody knows what the fuck it is. So yeah, I could see it.
And what I feel like is going to happen based off of that is it's going to establish what they've wanted for an for a very long time. Is they're going to try to start establishing a cohesive Stephen King universe,
Yeah.
which would
They've got a good base for it right now.
the house won't fall if the bones are good, my dog,
Right.
and it got some good bones.
I mean, they could potentially springboard into a good Dark Tower something, even if it's just like a minor story. Like I don't want it to happen, but they could, and based on this, they might be able to do it well. Because if it is done and it's done well, I won't be mad.
They've got the source
But if
material.
you do it and you take a big shit and piss and mix all that together with some vomit again, I don't know what I'll do. But none of us will be happy.
Have a Merry Christmas from our family to yours. And I hope that you join us again next week, where we might just talk a little bit more about this insanely deep lore that is It Welcome to Derry. Bye, everybody. Fucking.
Don't meow at me. I'm a god. An eater of worlds.
Okay.
So here's to friends and Thanos bright.